Hey everybody, what's up? And welcome to today's edition of I'm a Boss. I'm Neechy, social media expert, marketing guru, clothing designer. Recently launched Big Drip Threads, which you just saw in that intro right there. For those of you who do not know me, so be sure to follow us on all social media. Neechy on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, wherever you're watching this from. As you're coming in, I want you to be sure to drop a comment because this is a show that you are not going to want to miss. I'm telling you, everybody, since this COVID situation has hit, is trying to build a brand in some kind of way. They're trying to launch a clothing line. They're trying to update their brand, change their brand, fix their brand, do something like that. Everybody's trying to do something with their brand right now. And the interesting thing is that as you're building a brand, sometimes you hit roadblocks because there's information that you wish you had that you don't have. And so tonight, we got a really cool conversation that's going to be happening. I don't want you to miss it. Let me just check. I just want to make sure everybody is on and that I can see everything that you can see. So if you just take a moment, take this video and share it. I'm getting ready to share this on my page. Our guests are getting ready to share this on their page. It's getting ready to be shared everywhere so that everybody can check in. Mary Jo, we see you. Trevor Hayward, we see you. Sonia Tamar, we see y'all coming in. I want you to share this video, hit the like button, hit the follow button. And if you have any questions as it pertains to a brand, you building a brand, then I want you to go ahead and drop that in the comment section so that we can perhaps answer the question for you. Don't be shy. Don't be scared. You know what I'm saying? We all trying to make it. So tonight, the goal is to give you answers or some insight or encouragement about how to build a brand. Got some really dope people coming in. All right. So before I bring them in, though, you guys are checking out my T-shirt, right? No fear, all faith. You saw that the Big Drip Threads in the front there on the timer, on the countdown. You guys know that I just launched Big Drip Threads. So when this video is over, I want y'all to go over to Big Drip Threads, grab yourself a T-shirt. This is the black one with the white ink. You can also get a hoodie in black with the white ink and a whole bunch of other colors. And we'll appreciate having your support. If you are blessed or encouraged or inspired by this platform, be sure to hit that Cash App, $Neechy, and support your girl. You know what I'm saying? Support your girl. So without further ado, I'm about to bring these two cool cats onto the screen so we can have this conversation about building a brand. Both of them are amazing in their environments. They're both professional. They're both on point. They both have created and worked with so many amazing people, big and small. So your brand is not too small and your brand is not too big for you to reach out to either one of them to help to ask them, how you guys can come together and build your brand. So first, Mike Builds Brands. That's the name of the company, Mike Builds Brands, and that's his web address, MikeBuildsBrands.com. Michael Dixon, graphic designer, brand manager, creator to the stars and to us little people too. Mike, what's up?
What's going on? How are you?
Good. And then my dude, Opio, Shaah, owner and creator of the Print Giants. You guys saw me post on my social media yesterday. And I was saying that if you need anything printed, banners, flyers, postcards, retractables, you do pop-up shops, you at your church and your big banner behind you, you need to contact the Print Giants. They're the printgiants.com and they can do everything. Oh, P.O., what's up? Can you hear me? Oh, P.O., can you hear us? No? All right, we're gonna mute it for just 1 second, just so we can make sure we got you straight. Mike, since we on here, before we get into the questions and things like that and kind of how to build this brand, give me just like maybe an elevator pitch on what you do, how you do, the kind of people that you service and all that.
Service niche brand agency. Our real niche is that we've been able to enter into the market as a creator of influence, so to speak. So a lot of brand agency focused so much on appearance and on verbiage, but they were missing the connectivity. They were missing the ability to be able to create contact, and then turn that into influence, and then leverage that influence and turn it into other financial avenues. So what we've done is we've kind of created a branding agency that is completely focused on the social media aspect of creating influence, lead generation, building amazing aesthetics, but also being able to convert all of that into financial gain. I think so many times people focus a lot on the product, but they don't focus enough on marketing and branding the product. And the product being themselves in today's, in today and age is so important. It's so important to have a personal brand. So we work with celebrities. We work with companies like AT&T. We work with Essence Festivals, South by Southwest. We've serviced some of those as clients. We have pretty much a global reach. We work with, I think about 5 different continents. We have content creation that we do. So that's, my little agency.
Okay, you said little agency, Mike. That don't sound too little to me. That's just
Yeah, we've been around since 2007, so we're going into year 14. It'll be year 14 in January, actually. So,
well, I'm really excited to have you on today, and I think that the people are. I was seeing on my social media throughout my threads throughout the day today, so many people, they were saying that they wanted to make sure that they jumped on and watched it or caught the replay, things like that. And so I'm excited about that. And we I think we're getting Opio situated so he can come in. So when he does, we'll go ahead and ask him some of the questions. But you and I have dialogued, and one of the things about building a brand that people run into is we are looking at what we see on social media. We're seeing what everybody is doing, and we're seeing them, booked and busy and all kinds of packages behind them. And they at the post office and they mailing off 1,000 packages and they sold out and they made $1,000 today. But the reality of it is that there was some work that took place behind that before they even made it to that point. And I think that may be, one of the places where when we're building a brand that we get disappointed, because what we see around us looks like everything happened overnight. Some of these people have been behind the scenes doing this thing for a minute, but just made it public. So go ahead and just kind of talk to that a little bit.
So the biggest thing that I want people to know about starting a business, and it's the most important thing, is that you're going to fail, right? You're going to have setbacks. And a lot of people don't go into business anticipating setbacks, whether it be good setbacks or bad setbacks. I was just talking with someone about that last night. I was doing consultation, and the guy was just like, man, I have good setbacks. And I said, what's a good setback? And he was like, well, I branded the heck out of my company. We got huge purchase orders from these major vendors. Now I got to try to come up with the money to fill it. And he was like, that was a setback that I hadn't anticipated, but it was still a setback. And I think that going into business, the biggest thing that you have to understand is that you're going to make some mistakes. You're going to have some setbacks. But if you're in it for the long run, those things are learning experience, and they're not so much as a negativity, right? These are learning opportunities. So when you're going into branding, the most important thing to understand is that you're going to evolve, you're going to change, and you're going to have to adapt based on your marketplace. Some people come in and they already have an idea of what they want their logo to be. They already have an idea of what they want their colors to be. They already have an idea of how they want their website to look, but they haven't consulted with professionals to see if their audience is going to respond to the look, to the imagery, and to the things that they like. So if you're making business about your own personal likes and dislikes, you're already eliminating a huge portion of the market if you haven't done the proper research to see, what's my customer profile? What's their age? What's their location? How much money do they make a year? What places do they like to shop at? Like, if you don't have a persona or a personal profile of your target audience, then you have to research, once you get that, okay, what do they like? What are the brands that they're most likely associated with? Then look at their branding. Look at what the similarities in that are. Look at what the differences are. Look at what's working for them, and look at what you feel like you could do better. But people just go in and they run in head first, and they're like, they get on Fiverr, they go pay somebody $5 to get a logo built. Then they get on, Fiverr again, and they pay somebody $200 to get the logo built. Get a website built. Then they go to Vistaprint and get the free cards that they want to do. And then a year later, they're looking at their business and they're either out of business or they're trying to figure out, like, why isn't this working for me? Why am I only making $100, $200 a month in my business? Well, you invested $300 in your business.
Yeah.
So you invested $300 into a business that you want to make millions of dollars, even if it's thousands of dollars out of it doesn't work out like that. You didn't seek professional help. You didn't seek the right type of mentorship. You didn't work with the right type of people that have the data to support what's best for you in the industry to reach your goals. So that's why I always try to tell people it's so important that you get mentorship, that you use your local SBAs, small business associations to find mentors, free programs like score.com. Like, find someone in the industry that is doing well, has done well, has maybe retired or sold their company. Get insight from them. And when you're going to get things made for your business, if you're serious about business, work with professionals. Yes, it's an investment. Totally understand that. Yes, you're going to have to spend more money than you ever thought that you were. But that's what successful people have done. They really have. They have literally sometimes invested. I know when I first started, man, I remember it was rough. I was pouring every single dollar that I had into my business. I couldn't go out with my friends. I was eating ramen noodles like I was still in college.
I'm telling you.
Every day. Man. Chicken ramen noodles with hot sauce. That was all I needed for the day. For real, like, that was it. And I would stop and get coffee in the morning with a banana, the little bananas that they have sitting in the basket right there, throwing my dollar, boom.
Mike, people just don't. I'm glad you're saying that. And Opio is he's back in. Whenever he comes back in, Andrea, just go ahead and pop him back on the screen. But I'm glad that you are talking about that part, because number one, you hit a lot of nuggets there that I just kind of want to pick apart. In Chastity Spirit, we see you. You said it's called a client avatar. And Joy. We see you giving thanks to the print giants for coming through for your flyers. Okay, so let me just back up a little bit. One thing you talked about was the SBA. Number one, I don't think that we go into it with the focus on getting local resources. I think that we use the internet and social media as our resource. And so we can only go so far without having some actual footing in the space that we're actually in. Number two, you talked about the money that goes into it. I have seen many people who are saying, yeah, I'm just getting ready to launch a clothing line, and it's just what I'm going to do full time. And that does not work, because you have to have some capital. You have to have some money somewhere. Most entrepreneurs will tell you that they were working somewhere first. And my thought is always, if you have a 9-to-5 and you want to start your own business, is to go ahead, keep that 9-to-5, work your business in the evening. Yes, it's extra work. It's extra time that you have to spend. This is what successful people do, but continue to build that business until you can make it that it sustains what it is that you're doing to a degree. You don't want to have a 40-hour-a-week job with health insurance and benefits and retirement and all that. Talking about you're going to quit that job just cold turkey, thinking you're going to build a t-shirt brand to order t-shirts. If you even want to have them in inventory, you could spend initially for it minimum $300 to $450 alone. That's outside of a design. That's outside of shipping costs. That's outside of shipping materials. That's
then you
outside
gotta pay
of
the credit card processing fees.
Okay, right. Processing fees. What if somebody asks for a refund? Lost packages. Yeah. There are fees, but you can do this. And fam, the reason why go ahead and drop your comments and we'll try to answer them as we get towards the end. But I wanted to share this conversation with some people who are experts. Mike builds brands, Opio, the print giants. Opio is coming in contact with people who are saying, hey, I have a logo, I need this printed on something. I need a flyer. I need a design or what have you. He's in contact with those people consistently. So give me some insight kind of on, you talked about the ramen noodles, you know what I'm saying? Give me some insight on maybe what just was like a crazy day in you building your brand, when you just kind of was like, man, I'm about to just, never mind, man. Just never mind. We don't quit.
So I quit probably once a day in my mind. You know what I'm saying? I quit once a day in my mind. Right. No, but seriously, one of the things when I was first really building my brand, the issue that I was having, and I still have this issue to this day, and it was growth. Like, growth was my biggest issue. I started off and I had a very, very simple plan. I was going to be the cheapest guy around with the best
Mhm.
designs. I was going to work harder than everybody else. I was going to work longer hours than everybody else. I was going to put myself in front of huge people and give them ridiculous prices that made them say, why not? Because I knew I had the best product on the market, but I didn't have the reach. So what happened was I started getting big clients. I started really working with some huge names. And what happened was they would share and they would have my name attached to it and so on and so forth. So I would get overwhelmed with emails and new clients. And of course, when you're young, you fresh and you bright eyed and bushy tailed, you taking everything. You telling everybody yes. Like,
Yep.
let's get it. You looking at the money coming in. You like, ooh, I can go buy some new equipment. Ooh, I can, redo my website, or I can, invest some money in this. I can take my wife out to eat. Like, I could do so many things. But then after you say yes, 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 now you got to sit back and do all the work. So then I didn't have the proper delegation at the time. And again, as you grow, these are issues that most people have. You start outgrowing your current ability to do certain things because there's only so many hours in the day. So I'm freaking out. I got all these orders due. I'm up to 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, right back up at 8 o'clock in the morning, stressing myself out, struggling, trying to please everybody, trying to make sure that things were getting on time, things were getting behind, things were slow. And I was beating myself up, and I was leading myself into a mentally depressed state because I wasn't focused on the good things that I was doing. The 95% of people that had successful experiences with me, I was letting that 5% just really, really tear me up and eat me up inside. And
You
what I
know,
had to realize,
what you just said about the delegation, that's a conversation I've been having a lot lately because um, there's many reasons why we don't delegate, and let me just give you all the honest reasons why we don't delegate. Number one is money.
that's it.
Number two is money.
Yep.
And number three is money.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because
You're absolutely right.
it's all money because um, in the beginning, you can be a one-man show, but as you grow, like you just mentioned, there is no possible way that you can build the brand, sell the brand to other people, work the brand, answer the phone calls, print the materials, to do everything. You have to begin to delegate. And fam, there's a way that you can delegate and have resources initially without crazy expense. When I kind of came into the industry, there were people that I what's the word? I guess you would call it intern for, because I was getting connections, relationships, and exposure. And so there are people that are like me that are like, hey, I just want to be connected to what you're doing. I just want to help out. I just want to support. There are people like that in the field that we're in, Mike, the media field and what have you. There are broadcasting companies, fam, in your cities or in your states, or there are students at the colleges, universities who just want to kind of get their hands wet.
Mm-hmm.
You can start there with people who can be interns with you, who already do kind of have a sense of knowing what they're doing, versus just, because I think the other thing, Mike, was that I didn't want to have somebody come in and I have to teach them everything. Like, because obviously if I'm delegating, it's because I don't have time to be doing that. So that was the other piece of that. So give some pointers on how somebody can delegate what needs to be delegated. Raven is saying big facts. Get some insight on, on what can be delegated, and how.
So you hit it right on the head. Intern saved my life. No kidding. I started putting out advertisements. I started going to the local colleges around here, DCCCD, and dropping off flyers and stuff like that, and communicating with the counselors, offering opportunities for people that wanted to go into marketing or into media to come in. And, thankfully, because I had a client base already that was interesting, I had tons of people that started emailing me with their resumes saying, oh, I'd love to come work with clients. I'd love to come with some real world experience. And these kids do way more about my industry than I did. They're learning the now. They have professors and teachers that they can go to help them with projects that I was giving to them. So that completely changed the narrative of everything that I was doing, was bringing in interns and allowing them the freedom to be able to do whatever they needed to do. But just one more quick thing about that is I had a brand guide. So anybody that works with my agency, if you don't have a brand guide, you're already kind of putting yourself behind the 8 ball with working with anybody. I had a set brand guide of guidelines that this is how my brand should look. these are the fonts that you should use. These are the colors that you should use. This is the message of my brand. So anything that you create or anything that you do should be pertaining to these specific guidelines. So that eliminated a lot of the riffraff and the having to overly explain, because they had a manual that they could go to say, okay, I'm finna do this. Does it line up with what Mike Builds Brands is all about?
And see, this is why Mike builds brands, because Mike is having these types of conversations that we don't think about. Because I promise you, I'll just be transparent with y'all. When I launched Neechy Made It, the clothing line, the custom clothing line, first of all, I didn't know I was launching a business at all. I just was really really trying to make a skirt for church, and could not find what I was looking for in the store, and got on a sewing machine, got on Google, got on, all of that. And before I knew it, I posted a couple things on social media and people started asking me for it. And so it kind of turned into a brand, and that does happen sometimes. Yeah. But I also found that at some point, you have to get in there and ask for some support. So I started hiring some people to come and be a part of my sewing team. I had, and have them let me give you the shell, and then you finish it out. Because I think the other reason why we don't delegate, Mike, is for fear of somebody stepping into our space, overtaking our space. Yep. Something like that. Let me bring Opio in here real quick, because I think we got him in now, I think. And so, Opio, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes. All right, y'all. Y'all put some hearts, put some thumbs up in the comment section for Opio, theprintgiants.com. www.theprintgiants.com. So you built this amazing company. You print for the least of us and the greatest of us. You print what you print, the color, the quality, the time frame in which you're able to get it done, the access that you have, the types of products, family. He can print anything. Whatever you think about getting printed, you need to call today. You need to go to the website today. Whatever you think about getting printed, you need an 8x24 banner for your church, call the Print Giants. You need some postcards, some business cards, call them. Tell them I sent you. So, we're talking about this brand. We're talking about delegating, and me and you kind of had a conversation about delegating. I remember at one point. So kind of, elaborate on maybe the importance of that, or add people to the
team. Delegation is very important. You can have a great product, you can have a great service, and you could attract all of the clients into your business that you want. But if you don't have the structure to process those orders in a timely manner and with good quality, you're kind of doing yourself a injustice, because bad service kills a great product. So yeah, you definitely got to delegate, and it also allows you to be an expert in what you're best at. I, being in business almost 20 years now, I went through this myself personally. I used to pride myself. It used to be one of my mottos that I'm an owner operator. I'm hands-on. Some of those terms I used to say. I tell people, you not only get to come in and come to my business, but you also get to work with the owner. So I sold those things for years, and I found myself working crazy hours into the morning.
I was just about to say.
I also found myself at one time with service issues, and I had to really look at that and take a step back and be realistic about it, and kind of reinvent myself. Maybe about 6 or so, because we had business come everywhere, but we did not have the infrastructure set up to handle the flow of the business. And that can be detrimental. I was glad that I was able to, look at that and catch it before it was detrimental, and make some changes.
So everybody is launching a brand this year, and we'll bring Mike back in a few minutes, but everybody is launching a brand this year. What are you seeing most people doing? Are they, because family, he also prints, like I said, everything, clothing, garments, just anything you can think of. And so what are you seeing the trends be as far as what people are trying to do this year?
Everybody's the trends, huh? Good question. I guess what I see the most is young entrepreneurs. people new into the business. Everyone wants to be vocal and be seen right here on social media. You have when I said you have a lot of new business owners coming to the scene. So you have a lot of people that I call them kind of closer to like hobbyists coming in. Some people are just more entrepreneurs looking to make money. And then you have some people who are really looking to brand themselves and start a company and for a long-term, situation. So even me as a printer, as a business owner and working in this market, you have to be able to kind of decipher, who's coming through the door there. So I think right now you're getting, especially with the COVID, the new influx of money, I think for another year, it'll take another year, we'll really get a chance to see what a lot of these people really want to do. In my industry right now, I print t-shirts. You can't find t-shirt equipment right now. Everybody's buying a circuit cutter. Everybody's buying a heat press. Everybody wants to get some new t-shirt and print and sell t-shirts until the rigors of the business start to come on, until things start to slow up and people aren't just giving money away. And then you'll see who's really in it for the long haul. So you have some people who are looking to start a business. You've got some people who are looking to push a brand, and you have some people that are in between.
So, okay, I come to you. I'm an entrepreneur, want to be an entrepreneur, branded to a business. I say, Opio, all I have is $250 to get whatever elements I need printed. Where does a person start? Because the reason I want to ask you that question is because there are some people who will delay the start of their brand or their business because they feel like they just don't have everything. And fam, let me tell you, there is no perfect way to start a business. You will never have everything that you need to start. If you're waiting for it to be the perfect time or have the perfect amount of money or the perfect office space or the perfect, employees or whatever, then you're never going to start. You got to start somewhere. So for some of us, for me, Opio, I started my clothing line with a $20 Craigslist sewing machine on a dining room table. I didn't have the big sewing machines, industrial stuff or anything like that. I didn't have it. So a person comes to you, they say, listen, I want to start my brand. I want to start my business. I don't have a lot of money, but I know I want to start. I got $250. What should they purchase? When y'all call Opio at the Print Giant this week, what are you telling them to go ahead and get printed so they can go ahead and establish their business?
If they're starting off with $250, before we print anything, we probably need to establish a logo. We need to establish an identity for them. If they have a logo, we need to check it out and see what type of logo they have. That's one thing I've seen in this year with the rush of new business owners. You get a lot of horrible logos, or I would say, I won't call them horrible. I would say logos that are not
professionally designed
for business. Yeah, they're not professional. So I would tell people I would start off with a vision. And that vision is start to go into where you see yourself and where you see your business. What type of business are you really looking to push? People say, well, I want a brand. Well, when you say you want a brand, that starts off with a vision. Is before you get a logo, is before you print any business cards, before you print any flyers. So before you give me that $250, and that's one thing about me as a business owner. Don't get me wrong, I have to pay my bills, but I don't want to see people waste their money. So before you give me your $250, let's make sure, maybe I can direct you over, or maybe I send you the vision, because it's hard for me to create a logo. It's hard for me to create marketing material, have a vision. And a lot of times as printers, we get customers that come in and say, I'll say, so, what did you have in mind? I don't know, whatever you come up with, let me just see what you got. And we work with it and we try. I try to ask questions and get things out of them. But like Mike mentioned earlier, if you have a set plan, if you have a listing of your colors, or if you have a vision, the client that comes to me and that can give me their vision, I can work magic from there. I can get with my design team. I can give you all kind of ideas, all kind of, referrals, different ways to go if you have a vision. But if you don't have a vision, it's hard for dollars to be spent with any value.
Family, we got about 12 minutes left. I want you to drop any comments that you have in the comment section for these amazing, dope business owners who I'm hoping that you all flood their social media pages. We'll make sure that that's up on the screen and everything. as they're coming on, but I want you to flood their pages. But if you have questions, you nervous about building your brand, you want to start your brand, you have an idea, you're unsure, you've been wanting to ask someone a question, tonight is the night for you to drop your question in the comments so we can see them. Tawana, you said, see, that's the thing. Everyone's not going to offer guidance with the products. Great answer. Great question. Yeah, everybody's not going to offer. And the simple fact is, honestly, no one is necessarily obligated. However, there is a remnant of people who will. And so that's why we're having this conversation tonight. Because, I mean, why not? Why not have the conversation? We're going to talk for like another 10 minutes. But while we're doing that, I just want to give you all, for those of you who are just come in, I want to let you know who we're talking to tonight. Mike Builds Brands. Mike Dixon is he my left or my right? I'm not sure, but he got the hat on. That's Mike Dixon. Mike Builds Brands. He's at www.mikebuildsbrands.com. And then Opio Shaah, he is the printgiants.com. Mike Builds Brands is just that, websites, graphic design, all that kind of stuff. And then when you need to get your t-shirts printed, your hoodies, your postcards, your flyers, your banners, pastors, I'm especially talking to y'all tonight to connect with these two, because you need amazing graphics. And then I'm seeing a lot of pastors right now who are filming from home and they need a background. So you need it designed and you need it printed. And so these two, this mashup right here, they'll both be able to navigate that process for you in any kind of way. Okay, so we got a question here. I'm going to ask it to both of you. You both can give me about a 1 minute answer. Guys, when you're not talking, we're going to have you on mute. So just be aware in case you see that kind of flip on the screen. Okay, so one of the questions that's coming up is, when do you expand? When do you make the decision to actually expand? Opio, I'll let you go ahead with that first.
Okay, that's a layered question, but I'll give it one simple answer. Or I'll give a scenario. Basically, if you're operating in one shift, before you decide to expand and open up another building or open another location, maybe you can add another shift. Maybe you can add more employees. But once you get to the point where you've maxed out on your shifts, you've maxed out on your staffing, and you're still having issues getting your orders out, or still having issues being able to fulfill, then at that time, then maybe it's time to expand. Especially, this happens a lot in the t-shirt business. People always say, they want to jump into the automatic printing press. You have to have a clientele, and you can't make that decision off of one year, 3 to 6 months of good business, and now you're ready to open up 2 or 3 more businesses. You got to go through some cycles. Let the hype go down, let some things happen in the market and see how things, really go. And then you can consider expanding.
Mike, let me flip to a different question on you. Opio, that was actually, I feel you on every layer of that response. Okay, Mike, let's go to the next question. What makes a good brand? Let me give a little thought to that before Mike responds. To me, just if I take myself out of the CEO chair, out of the business chair, as a person who's just a consumer, it's consistency, it's customer service, but Mike, what makes a good brand?
All right, so that's another layer question, and I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability. But what makes a really, really good brand is visibility and ease of understanding. A good brand is everywhere and it's easily understood. That's about as simple as I can get it. Everything that your brand stands for should be in everything that people see. So you need to make sure that you have synergy in all aspects of media. Some brands are all over the place. They don't have color palettes. They don't have, they don't have certain trademark images that they use. Like you couldn't look at something that they've done and tell that it was associated with other things that they've done. A good brand speaks to its audience in every single thing that it does. So if people can't see a piece of your work or know something that you do and know that it came from you, then your brand needs to be revisited, because that is what a brand actually is. It's a message. It's your story. And people should be able to see your story in everything that you do.
You made a good point there, because when on my clothing line side, you all know the Neechy Made It side of things, the custom, what I'm most known for in that environment is custom skirts. And so I started like I mentioned, it wasn't anything I thought was even going to be a brand. I was just kind of just creating and learning and whatever. And what I began to notice was that people would be like, I saw your skirt on somebody. So like you said, Mike, a brand, what makes it you, what makes it unique, what's your imprint? And so I began to understand my imprint. And at first, and Opio, I want you to chime in on this part. I was making the skirts, and then I started looking at what other people were doing and thought that I needed to do all these different kinds of things. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to add, a vest. I need to add, I need to start making bomber coats. I need to start making suit coats. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of tried to do a little bit of that and realize that it was not my imprint. It was not my footprint. It was not what I was passionate about. And it was not what I was excelente at. And so, Opio, give me some thoughts on, us, we always talk about stay in your lane. But then on the other side, sometimes we'll tell people, but you need to broaden your horizon. You need to do more. But where does that come to a place where you just need to stay at what you're good at?
I think that goes back to what I was saying earlier is establishing the vision. It's like getting ready to start a business and having a business plan.
Mm-hmm.
When you start and you have a business plan, as you get into your business 2 or 3 years down the line, you can go back to that business plan and see where you are. Are you staying on track? So when you don't have a vision, as I mentioned earlier, people come in and say, I don't know what colors to use. So I could send you 3 or 4 logo samples with colors everywhere, and you're picking colors, but then when you go do your banners don't match your logo, so you don't have a vision. So it's the same thing with products. A lot of times you get people who are chasing money in comparison to chasing a vision or chasing a dream. So if all you're thinking about is trying to get money and get more business, then every time you look out the window and see someone else with a successful product, you want to chase after it. That's not a brand. Again, yeah. You're an entrepreneur. You're a hustler. You're eager to make money, and there's nothing wrong with any of those things. But when you decide that you want to establish a brand and have something that's going to be long lasting, you kind of got to, find your area and put some glue on your feet and stick there. Sticking in an area doesn't mean that you can't expand. It doesn't mean that you can't bring in new products, but it has rhyme to reason. You bring in products that relate with the products that you're already offering. It relates with the services that you're offering. There's a demand by your clients. There's a change. Right now with COVID, all of my people who are doing pop-up shops, a lot of my business owners are now going out into the streets. They're going out to pop-up shops and vendor events. So they need different products now. So now I have to come with new products that relate to what they're doing. Maybe I didn't offer this 2 years ago and it wasn't relevant 2 years ago, but now it's relevant. And so I can make an adjustment, and it's not me moving outside of what I initially see as my vision for the print giants. So I think that's maybe an example of how you could kind of stick with where you're going, keep your eyes open, stay in touch with your clients, what's going on in your market, new equipment, things of that nature. And I think that's how you could, stay in your lane, as you wanted to, say it.
Family, I can tell by the comments, y'all getting some help tonight. I can tell. I can see the comments popping up. I can see y'all that y'all getting some help tonight. Okay, one last question. Mike, you build brands, you build websites. Is that important for us to have, right now? Or are we, at one point, it kind of seemed like if you had a website that was cool, but you need to have, your Facebook page all situated and set up. Is the website still a necessity? Obviously for me in an e-commerce environment, because, Big Drip Threads, that's not a shameless plug. That's a for real plug. But the Big Drip Threads, everything like that. Of course, I want you going to a website to see all my stuff. But in general, a person that's starting a brand, is the website heavily important for them to go ahead and have that properly designed? Or, have we put that on the back burner? And if we have, is that what we should be doing?
Right. Excellent question. That's an excellent question. And the answer is the website is the most important thing that you have. And it's because we live in such a segmented society, but people don't understand the true power in branding, marketing, and advertising is being able to bring all of those people from all these segmented places into one particular avenue that it's easy to manage. Your website is your lead generation tool. If you have a following on Instagram, or following on Twitter, or following on YouTube, or following on Twitch, or following all these different places, well, your website is the one place where they can go and they can access it all at once. So if you had somebody that came from one channel, they may not know about your other channels. Your website can expose them to that. It gives them a centralized place for you to collect data. It gives them a centralized place for them to come and congregate and to recongregate at over and over and over again to see what's new amongst the different channels. Your website is like your business card. Now, the uses of it has changed. People don't read as much verbiage as they used to on websites. So your website should definitely be mobile friendly, as about 68% of people are going to visit your website from a mobile device. So if it's too wordy, you got two really, really small words and stuff like that, and people can't see a clear message, or what they're interested in is not clearly there in their face, you're probably going to lose them. But if your website is properly designed by a professional that is versed in understanding how to attract an audience and engage them and keep them engaged, the amount of money that you can make from that, the amount of follow-up tools that you'll have for all of your leads in that one place, is something that's just going to be phenomenal for you. So your website is so important, but it has to be done right in order for it to be effective, because lead generation is the key to any business whatsoever, because and the follow-up. So your website gives you that option to be able to bring in new clients, but then have different avenues for you to continue to follow up and establish your brand more and more and more as they continue to see you grow new products, new services, and et cetera.
Family. Now, I can sit here and talk to these two all day. Okay. I can sit here and talk to Opio all day. I can sit here and talk to Mike all day. But I can't do that today because I want y'all to talk to them all day. I want y'all to ring their phones, hit up their web addresses. They're on the screen, but I'm also in just a second allow them to just tell you how to connect with them the best way and everything like that. This, these kind of conversations are conversations that I wish I would have had when I was starting my brand. I wish that I would have had somebody that whose signature I trusted to be able to ask some of these questions and trust what they were sharing with me. And so I appreciate both of these amazing business owners, builders. I appreciate them because they have own the market. They are both amazing at what they do. When you call their office, if you call the print giants during their business hours, somebody's going to answer. They're going to respond to your email. They're going to let you know the delivery time. When you communicate with Mike Bill's Brands and he say he's going to send you a mock-up of your website, he going to send it and it's going to be dope. So I'm appreciative, for what they do in our community, fam. One of the other things, and we'll talk about this on another day, is just that partnership. Sometimes we want to, we get into these spaces in our business or what have you, and we don't want to share anybody else, or we don't want to uplift anybody, anything like that. Let me tell you something. The more you do that, the more you grow. And so I'm excited that these two amazing people, I'm humbled that they decided to sit down with us and have this conversation today. And I'm going to just let them tell you how you can reach them, how you can connect with them. And all of that stuff before we go. Opio, go ahead, let them know, everything about the print giants, how they can reach out to you, all that kind of stuff. I think we might have you on mute.
You can reach us online.
Opio, you were on mute for just 1 second. Go ahead and start over. I'm sorry.
Got you. All right. So listen, you can connect with us easy. You can go right on the website, theprintgiants.com. That's giants with the S. You can catch us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And on Facebook, it's The Print Giant. Same thing on Instagram, 734-636-1144. That's 734-636-1144. And we're in downtown Ypsilanti. So if you're in the local area, we're right downtown at 24 North Washington. We're floor 2. Right now, we're doing curbside deliveries. And we're doing appointments only. So if you do need to come into the office, please give us a call or come online first. But yeah, if you have any questions, you have questions about products, about services, I'll be honest with you, even if you just have some questions about starting up your business, stuff like that, I'm always open, willing to try to help when I can. But I look forward to doing business with you.
Mike?
Yeah, so you can reach me at my website, www.mikebuildsbrands.com. So we do have a consultation link where you can book different types of consultations with me. I have strategy consultations, I have initial consultations, I have follow-up consultations, and everything that you need to know Mike Builds Brands can come directly from the website. We do have social media where we preview, some of our clients and highlight some of the work that we've done, but a majority of everything that we do circles through our website. So make sure that you go, that you subscribe. I send out amazing, crazy deals through our email marketing team. They do a great job of keeping everybody up to date on what the latest specials are or what the newest, the latest, and the greatest tools out there are for your success. Also do free webinars. From time to time, we have free downloads and resource guides and all of those things. So www.mikebuildsbrands.com is where everything Mike Builds Brands can be found.
Family, these are two amazing resources. I hope that you all hit them up as soon as this video is over. So let me tell you how you can contact me though. Let me tell you how you can contact me. I want y'all to go over to www.bigdripthreads.com. Don't act funny. Go ahead and get you a t-shirt. Go ahead and get you a t-shirt. You know you need one. You know you need a hoodie. You need it. You need it in your life. Go to www.bigdripthreads.com. And then on all social media at Neechy, Neechy. If this platform tonight has been a blessing to you and you want to show some support, then, and y'all saw me looking down at my phone, I had to make sure everything was all right. But if you want to show some support, if this platform has been a blessing to you tonight, then you can do, hit that Cash App, $Neechy. No gift is too small. No gift is too big. You can send it there or through PayPal. If you all enjoyed this conversation that we've had about building this brand, and you want me to bring these two cool cats back, because as soon as they started talking about some of those things they was talking about, man, I could have went into a whole nother conversation with them again, but we ain't got time today. So if y'all want to see them back, in January, you let me know. We'll bring them back on. But I'm hoping that you all, legit go to theprintgiants.com, go to mikebuildsbrands.com. I'll try to put their Facebook links and their Instagram links in the description of this video when it's over. So you can go ahead and just click on the link and get there. But fam, support. You know what I'm saying? We have people that's brown skinned that are doing amazing. They're doing amazing. You know what I'm saying? And they do professional and great work. All right. So I just want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I hope y'all about to flood my website with your t-shirt orders. You know what I'm saying? So, but thanks for tuning in tonight. I want to thank you guys as always. God bless you and have a great night.